What's happening, Real Filmers? I'm here at 2015 Awesome Con, and I have here with me special guest Curtis Prather. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. All right, so first off, here we are, day 3 of Awesome Con. And I know you've had opportunity to go to prior Awesome Cons as well. You know, where does this year's con rank among the other years that you've attended?
Yeah, I've been here all 3 years. I've come out to support them all 3 years, and each year it gets progressively better. And this is the kind of convention that DC needs. We need something like this. Too many years, people who are into comics and gaming and movie memorabilia have to go to Baltimore or Philadelphia, and it's been wonderful to see a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people here. This has been their first convention they've ever come to. Just moments ago, I just talked to someone. This is the first time he's ever been to a convention.
Wow!
And you want to build that. You want to have that strong base as it gets larger and better well known, where eventually could hopefully become like a destination convention where people come in from Florida, New York, and and start competing with the Dragon Cons and the New Yorks and stuff like that. So it's great. DC really needed this. I think there's a real untapped audience that DC could reach that I don't think a lot of conventions, I think a lot of conventions ignore. And so I'm very excited. Ben and everybody who does Awesome Con, they just spend all year thinking and improving and working, and it's been a real treat. This year was our first year of doing a partnership with them.
Right.
They gave us a track of programming upstairs where we've shown films all weekend long, mostly films from previous festivals. This year we do have a DC premiere of a film anthology called Tales of Poe, and we have a lead actress that's here for that. And it's been very exciting to actually engage with people one-on-one. People who are into horror and genre films. It's not the entire Awesome Con audience, but it is part of it. And you meet with them, and they may have never heard of the festival that we do. So this is a really great opportunity for us, and they have been tremendous to work with, and I hope the partnership continues.
Right. So as you said, you guys have developed a close-knit partnership, and even this past year at the festival, Awesome Con was a sponsor of the festival. So can you talk a bit about how that all came to be and how that came together?
I'm friends with Ben on Facebook and said, hey, actually last year at Awesome Con, I approached them about showing my film every other day is Halloween.
Okay.
Count Gordeval, who's the subject of that documentary, was a guest last year, and he's a guest this year. And actually last year was his first time in 40 years where he's ever made a public appearance in the District of Columbia. Wow. He's appeared in Maryland, he's appeared in Virginia, but to have an opportunity in the district, and at a convention setting, and the response was tremendous. So when I knew he was here last year, I approached them and I said, hey, can we do every other day as Halloween? The film had been out for about 5 years. It had its premiere at the AFI. It played at San Diego Comic Con back in 2009. It's available on Amazon Prime and, for free if you're a Prime member. But they also had comic book writer Steve Niles was here. He was in my movie. John Dimes plays Dr. Sarcophagi on TV. He's in my movie Local. Carlos Borloff, Jerry Moore. So we had several people. We had a really good panel discussion, and it was fun to see the film a few years later with people who hadn't seen it and grew up with it. So after having that experience, I was thinking, it'd be great to do what we're doing this weekend. So I pretty much ambushed Ben and said, we're partners now. I'm going to put this on, and he was for it, and we formalized everything last fall, and then working with the people that work, with him, Becky and Jess and Jen and a whole crew of people have been just fantastic, sort of forming what this would be. Even a couple months ago, we were still sort of figuring it out. We sponsored a panel discussion yesterday as well, so just sort of in many ways it's a test for us and maybe a test for them, and we'll see, we'll take what we learned and, hopefully, we can continue. But no matter what, I want to support this convention. I'm DC native going way back, and this is the kind of thing DC has needed. I've talked to too many people over the years. DC can't support something like this. DC, that's maybe a Baltimore thing. You're not going to get more than 5,000 people at something, and that's a minimum that you need for a convention. I mean, seriously, I've talked to people in Los Angeles, trying to get them on board on something like this. Their first year, they had 7,000. Last year, 40. I'm speaking out of school. I actually don't know, but I do go around and count each person individually,
right.
In my spare time here.
Sure.
But those are the kinds of numbers that you can, anyone who's done any events, you can kind of gauge the success and the fact that there's more vendors this year, more celebrities, and the caliber of the celebrities.
And the space itself.
Space is ridiculous.
The
available space here in DC, once again, I may be talking out of my ass, but the available space here at the convention center is comparable to San Diego, if not even more. So if this area of DC can sort of step up with hotels and restaurants and stuff like that and create sort of this a cocoon, an environment, it really could compete as far as a destination festival where people always have on their calendar circled, well, this is what I'm doing every year this weekend, going to Washington, D.C., and having a great time. And it just, you put out a good product and people start trusting the brand. And so that's what we try to do with the festival. This is our 10th year coming up. Last year we hit a home run with films like Babadook, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, Exists, VHS Viral, Housebound, and on and on and on. And you get people that come out and they see that. And the problem is,
you got to top that.
We showed, we were one of the first festivals to screen Tucker and Dale versus Evil before anyone had heard of it. And for the next 3 years, that's all I heard was like, when are you getting another Tucker and Dale? When's another Tucker and Dale? I was like, if I could, I would go out and make a Tucker and Dale every year for you. But I can only get what's out there. And so this year, it's all about Babadook, trying to oh my gosh, you have anything else like Babadook? And so, we've got, I've got a new associate programmer working with us who works at the Toronto International Film Festival. And he just got back from Cannes, and he's going over titles. And it's a lot of it's sort of it feels like a science, but a lot of it's luck, and a lot of it's just sort of, stuff comes to us and we go out and stuff. So.
Okay, cool. Now, if anyone who follows me, you know that I'm a huge fan of horror films, and I go, as you said, Spooky Movie International Horror Film Festival. I've been going the last 3 years.
Did you go to Artist Fair?
I don't think I did, but I've been to Spooky Fest for quite a few years now, and I know that even though it's not until October, I know you're hard at work in getting, not just selections in, but also, as you said, trying to top yourself for next year. So are there any new elements that, fans that you can tease, I'm sure?
I can go ahead and announce. So we're announcing this weekend our closing night. Now we've mixed it up in the past. We've done, it's mostly new films that we show. But occasionally we've slipped some stuff in here if we have an opportunity. Back in 2010, 2009, we showed 2000 Maniacs with Herschel Gordon Lewis here. And that was ridiculous. That was so much fun. So this year we're mixing it up again. Our closing night this year is going to be the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay. 40th anniversary. We're bringing out performer Peaches Christ from San Francisco, and other special guests to be announced. And we're doing 2 shows. One that's going to be a sort of a full half-hour extravaganza. The second later show will be with an all-star shadow cast. Shadow cast are, a lot of Rocky Horror Picture shows have a shadow cast that perform the pantomime, the show, and interact and dress. And there's 2 really great ones in the DC area, and so we're hopefully going to collaborate and work. And we have, a person instrumental in this area to work with us to really create. We just want to have people to end the festival, on a really high note, and have that. And I can't say any details. We also collaborate with Count Gordeval on separate one-off events. So our next one is in July, 18th or 19th, Saturday night, showing Earth versus the Flying Saucer. So, but the one after that in October, I can't say anything, but look, Halloween is on a Saturday this year. Okay. So I'm just going to say that, all right. And he'll be at their festival opening night. He's, he's been with us every step of the way for 10 years, and we couldn't be happier about that.
Okay, so lastly to close, as you said, you've had an opportunity to go to, many cons. So in addition to Awesome Con, do you see yourself venturing out to some of the other, shows that are out there, maybe like New York Comic Con since it's on the East Coast, or like maybe one year going back to San Diego?
I'd love to go to San Diego. San Diego, I was out there twice, and it was, I almost don't want to go out because the second time was so perfect. I mean, we had a condo a block from the convention for a full week, and it was just spectacular. The people that were there, the whole thing. New York's the same weekend as the film festival, so I can't really.
That's right.
So once we get into September, there's a lot of things I want to do that I really kind of can't, because I'm kind of locked in what we're doing. But I think that Awesome Con makes the best sense for reaching an audience that will actually come out to our festival. In the years we've done stuff up in Baltimore, and that's great. And we have people who will buy their all festival pass and come down from Baltimore and stay, and we love them. We love all of them. But anyone who's making that special effort, it's terrific. So I do know that there is that there, but really the DC audience is where we need to sort of focus on and get people. You live in the area, you know that there's a bias of people in Virginia scared to go into Maryland. People in Virginia would rather drive to Baltimore than Silver Spring.
It's weird.
People in Bethesda would rather drive to Richmond than drive to Fairfax. It's a weird, and DC people don't want to go out anywhere. So you hope to coax them out and entice it, because a lot of these films might show up on Netflix or Amazon Prime and stuff like that, or the internet. There's nothing to replace seeing it with an audience, seeing it in a theatrical environment. Absolutely. In a theater, in an actual theater. Lights come down, you can smell the popcorn, you can hear someone snoring behind you. The whole thing is that shared experience. You get the fake jump and everyone jumps and then laughs afterwards, or something so stupid people have to laugh.
To the screen,
it's so much fun. And the other thing is, so we cover a lot of films, not just the Babadooks and stuff, but we also show films from other countries to sort of like, here, check this out. We know you're coming here for Tucker and Dale, but check this out. We've got something that you might really like from Brazil, and that may be the only chance you have to see something like that. We work closely with filmmakers from all over the world and look forward to showing their films in DC because it's an international city.
Exactly.
And their films may never play here outside of a festival setting. They may have copywritten music that they only have permission to show at a festival. And so that is the only chance. We have a film we're playing this weekend at Awesome Con that is in that boat, where that is such a special, unique film, and you're never going to see it anywhere else. It's not on the internet. You're not going to be able to find it on a torrent site. And when you see it, you're really happy that you did, because it's a special film. And so that's the kind of thing. And the people who come out, when we put our all festival passes on sale, we can guarantee a certain amount will be sold immediately by people who will be there all 10 nights. And they will bring people out, and because they want to share that experience as well. So, that's when DC, we're very blessed with so many festivals in this area, as you know. And that's the thing across the board with all of us, from DC Shorts and on these, you really want that shared experience. And it's why I'm doing it.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Curtis. Thank you so much.